You don't get hurt easily. You just haven't learned how to protect your mind. Right now, someone's opinion can ruin your mood. One message can change your energy. One bad moment can control your entire day. But imagine this. What if nothing could touch you emotionally anymore? No overthinking, no anxiety, no reactions you later regret. Just calm, control, and power. Most people are slaves to their emotions, but a few people train themselves to become emotionally untouchable. And once you reach that level, people lose the power to hurt you, situations stop controlling you, and your mind becomes your strongest weapon. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will change the way you think, react, and live forever. 1. Stop taking everything personally. The reason you feel hurt so often is simple. You make everything about you. Someone ignores you, and you think you're not important. Someone speaks harshly, and you feel attacked. Someone behaves badly, and you absorb their negativity. But here's the truth most people never realize. People act based on their own struggles, not because of you. When someone is rude, it reflects their mindset. When someone disrespects you, it reflects their character. When someone ignores you, it reflects their priorities, not your worth. An emotionally untouchable person understands this deeply. They don't internalize everything. They observe it. Instead of thinking, "Why did they do this to me?" they think, "This is who they are." That shift changes everything. Because the moment you stop taking things personally, you stop giving people control over your emotions. And when people can't affect your emotions, you become free. 2. Master the pause before reaction. Your life is controlled by one small moment, the space between what happens and how you respond. Most people have no control in that moment. They react instantly. Emotion takes over and they lose power. But emotionally untouchable people do something different. They pause. When something triggers them, they don't react immediately. They breathe. They observe. They let the emotion settle before choosing how to respond. That pause is power. Because in that space, you are no longer a slave to your emotions. You become the one in control. Think about it. How many times have you said something you regret, reacted in anger, made a decision based on emotion? Now imagine if you had paused. That single habit can transform your entire life. Train yourself to delay your reactions. Even a few seconds is enough to break emotional impulses. Because when you control your reaction, you control the outcome. 3. Detach from the need for approval. If you need people to like you, you will always be emotionally vulnerable. Because your happiness will depend on something you cannot control, the opinions of others. Most people live like this. They adjust their behavior to be accepted. They seek validation. They fear judgment. And in doing so, they lose themselves. But emotionally untouchable people operate differently. They don't chase approval, they build self-respect. They understand that people's opinions are temporary, inconsistent, and often meaningless. Today, someone praises you. Tomorrow, they criticize you. If you depend on that, your emotions will constantly rise and fall. Instead, build internal validation. Do what aligns with your values, not what impresses others. Respect yourself enough to stand alone if necessary. Because when you no longer need approval, you become impossible to control. 4. Accept that you cannot control everything. One of the biggest sources of emotional pain is resistance. You want things to go your way. You want people to behave how you expect. You want life to follow your plans. But reality doesn't care about your expectations. Things go wrong. People disappoint you. Situations change without warning. And when you resist that reality, you suffer. Emotionally untouchable people don't fight what they can't control. They accept it. They understand that control is limited to 3 things: your thoughts, your actions, and your response. Everything else is outside your control. And once you accept that, something powerful happens. You stop wasting energy on things you can't change. You become calmer, more focused, more stable. Instead of saying, "This shouldn't happen," you say, "This is happening. How do I respond?" That mindset creates emotional strength. 5. Train yourself to be comfortable alone. Many people are emotionally weak because they are afraid of being alone. They need constant attention, conversation, validation, or distraction. And when they don't have it, they feel empty. But that dependency makes you vulnerable, because the moment you rely on others for emotional stability, you give them power over you. Emotionally untouchable people are different. They are comfortable alone, not because they hate people, but because they don't need them to feel complete. They use solitude to think, to grow, to strengthen their mind. When you are alone, you face yourself, your thoughts, your fears, your reality. And if you can be at peace in that space, you become incredibly strong, because now your happiness is not dependent on anyone. And that kind of independence makes you untouchable. 6. Control your inner dialogue. The way you speak to yourself determines how you feel. If your inner voice is negative, critical, and fearful, your emotions will follow. Most people don't even realize how much damage their thoughts are causing. They tell themselves they're not good enough. They assume the worst. They replay negative situations again and again. And then they wonder why they feel overwhelmed. Emotionally untouchable people take control of that voice. They don't allow their mind to work against them. Instead of feeding fear, they create clarity. Instead of exaggerating problems, they focus on solutions. You must train your inner dialogue to be strong, calm, and logical. Because when your thoughts are stable, your emotions become stable. And when your emotions are stable, nothing can easily disturb you. 7. Limit emotional exposure to toxic people. Not everyone deserves access to you. Some people bring drama. Some bring negativity. Some constantly drain your energy. And if you keep allowing them into your life, your emotional state will always suffer. Emotionally untouchable people are selective. They protect their environment. They don't engage in unnecessary conflict. They don't entertain gossip. They don't stay around people who constantly bring stress. This doesn't mean you hate people. It means you respect your peace, because your environment shapes your mindset. If you surround yourself with chaos, your mind becomes chaotic. But if you protect your space, your mind becomes calm and focused. Sometimes, becoming emotionally untouchable is not about changing yourself. It's about changing what you allow into your life. 8. Embrace discomfort without complaining. Life will test you. There will be stress, pressure, failure, and unexpected challenges. Most people react by complaining, avoiding, or giving up. But emotionally untouchable people do something different. They accept discomfort as part of growth. They don't run from it, they face it, because they understand that every difficult situation is training their mind. The more you handle discomfort, the stronger you become. The more you avoid it, the weaker you stay. So instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" That shift transforms pain into power. And over time, things that once overwhelmed you won't even affect you anymore. 9. Let go of the past completely. You cannot be emotionally untouchable if you are still holding on to the past. Past mistakes, past pain, past regrets. Every time you replay those memories, you relive the emotions, and that keeps you stuck. Emotionally strong people understand something important. The past cannot be changed, but your relationship with it can. Instead of holding on, they learn from it and move forward. They don't let past experiences define their present emotions, because holding on only gives power to something that no longer exists. Let it go, not because it didn't matter, but because you deserve peace. And the moment you release the past, you free your mind. 10. Become the observer of your mind. The final step to becoming emotionally untouchable is awareness. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the one observing them. Most people are controlled by what they feel because they identify with it. I am angry. I am anxious. But emotionally untouchable people see it differently. I feel anger. I notice anxiety. That small difference creates distance. And in that distance, you gain control. When you observe your thoughts instead of becoming them, they lose power. You realize they are temporary. They come and go. And once you reach that level of awareness, nothing inside you can control you anymore. If you made it this far, you're already ahead of most people. But knowledge is not enough. You have to practice this daily, because becoming emotionally untouchable is not something you learn once. It's something you train. So start today. Control your reactions. Protect your mind. Build your strength. And if you want more powerful content like this that will transform your mindset and your life, make sure you subscribe. Because the version of you that nothing can disturb is built one decision at a time. Stay strong, stay calm, and never let anything control your mind.